As a gamer and creator looking for a laptop, I'm always searching for that perfect balance of metrics. And this year, Lenovo have knocked it out of the park. They just launched their Lenovo Legion 5 Copilot Plus PCs, their fastest, most intelligent Windows PCs ever. This time around though, they've made changes to their design and hardware options. They're thinner, lighter, faster, quieter, and you can play harder for longer. So we need to talk about it. Now, the gaming laptop has been filled with chunky 16-inch machines, so Lenovo has limited the GPU options here so we can get a smaller form factor, which may not appeal to everybody. Now, a few months ago, I did a review on the 4060 version of the Legion 5, and I thought that laptop was such great value. So I was curious how this 2025 model would perform. Also, big thanks to everybody who showed support on my last video because we actually got Lenovo as our first sponsor on the channel, which is pretty awesome. Still gonna be my honest opinion though, so don't stress. Anyway, they loaned me this laptop to test out and get my thoughts on it. In terms of specs, the Legion 5s are running the new AMD Ryzen processors. We have an RTX 5070, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and 1 terabyte of SSD storage. The first thing you'll notice about the design is the size and the weight. It's thinner, smaller, and lighter, which was a bit of a surprise when I first picked this up. The reason Lenovo can get it the size is because they've opted for 115 watt GPUs like the 5050, 60, and 70. If they went with a GPU like the 5070 Ti, they would be running about 140 watts, which would mean more heat, which means more cooling, so the laptop would be bigger. So they've sacrificed that extra performance to keep it portable and compact. In terms of aesthetic, I love the Eclipse Black version over the gray they have previously used. It is so much better. It still has the same design choices as the previous models. It's simplistic and not overly gamery. And port selection is still good. We have fans, power, and HDMI on the back, and a few other ports just scattered around on the side. The build quality is still really solid. The top is aluminium and the base is this ABS plastic. There is still a little bit of flex, but overall it's really sturdy and wobble-free. My only gripe is that the lid is a little bit fingerprint prone, but the base is fine. You're also still getting a full keyboard layout with the numpad and function keys. It's just a little condensed because this is a 15.1-inch laptop. The keyboard is nice to type on and you can customize the 24-zone RGB backlighting. Now you can choose between an IPS or an OLED display. I have the OLED version here. It's the same 1600p screen with 165 Hz, but now it's a 15.1-inch glossy OLED panel and it looks beautiful. The colors also look really good when I'm grading my footage in DaVinci Resolve, which is essential for me. I also like that they didn't go with a matte coating because the colors are way more vibrant. They look better than previous series. And yes, glare will be an issue, but if you use this in classes or at home or indoors, you'll be fine. The brightness is also a little bit better at 500 nits. It's not crazy bright, but it's way more than adequate. You can switch between different performance modes using FN plus Q. I also like that the logo color changes when you're using different modes, so you can just see what it is at a glance. The laptop will swap between quiet mode, balance for a bit more juice, and performance mode, which boosts everything to the max, and you'll need this to be plugged in to get that option. You can also choose if you want to use a dedicated GPU, the integrated GPU on the CPU, or a mix of both. If you don't need the full 165 Hz refresh rate, you can use FN plus R to swap between 60 Hz and 165 Hz. Let's talk about gaming performance. I was thoroughly impressed with the RTX 60 version of the Legion 5, but even though the frame rates were good in my opinion, they weren't hitting the max refresh rate of 165 Hz. So I was hoping we'd see a different story here with the new one. In the NVIDIA app, you can choose between a balance of performance versus quality on the slider. So here's how I balance my games. For Marvel Rivals, I was sitting more towards quality and well above the recommended. I was pretty surprised at how much performance I was able to get here. I was sitting around 190 to 220, which is the perfect range if you don't want to dip below the max frame rate. For Cyberpunk settings, I was sitting just above the recommended. The game looked great and I was getting between 175 and 190 FPS. Cyberpunk did struggle a little bit in crowded areas and can dip quite a lot. At times I was getting some pretty bad 1% lows. For Baldur's Gate, I put it somewhere between the middle. However, I would argue that this is a game that you don't need high frames per second. Regardless, the game still looked great and I was getting about 90 to 125 in normal scenarios and 135 to 165 for dialogue options. Path of the Exile 2, I was more in the middle here, but I wanted more FPS. This game was the one that struggled the most on the previous gen of the Legion 5s. On the new laptop though, I was getting consistently between 110 and 135 during fights, and this is way better. Occasionally there was a dip to like 90. When it comes to my video editing, I use large files. I usually have a lot of effects, color grades, and clips, so my timelines need decent hardware even to play through it all. Now, on my previous Legion 5, I couldn't even apply my color grades because the playback was not ideal, even on a 1080p timeline. So how does this new Legion 5 stack up? Even with all my color grades and effects turned on, I was able to scrub through my 4K timeline and get around 17 frames per second of playback speed, which is not quite enough, but it's still pretty good, I'd say. If I use about half resolution for playback, it's great. It's smooth to scrub through the timeline and responsive when moving about and playing through different clips. However, on a 1080p timeline, it's so fast and responsive and makes editing a breeze. So this is probably how I would edit my videos and then swap back to a 4K timeline when I export it. Honestly, I was really surprised at the improvement over the previous gen, and it really feels like a laptop that is perfect for content creators or video editors. Something I don't really see people mention, but I think is important, is getting a CPU that allows for AI-infused editing and gaming. Because there's a growing list of features that take advantage of the NPU for processing AI tasks, I actually use a lot of AI features when editing. So if there's more ways to make editing faster, I'm all for it because that process is already long enough. Copilot Plus is also integrated here so you can quickly use it to boost productivity and assist with any queries you have. I use the GPT-5 option and I find it pretty useful for when I'm doing my content. I use it just to refine my thoughts and ideas throughout my process, and I find it pretty helpful. These AMD chips are rocking their new XDNA 2 architecture, which is built for this type of stuff. It processes AI-related tasks independent from the GPU and the CPU, which is also great for future-proofing as games and programs implement more AI processors, so that gives us more overall performance. For fan noise, Lenovo are using their cold front hyper technology, which uses a dual fan system to pull air from the bottom, push through a hyper chamber and out the back. This definitely sounds a lot quieter than the 4060 model of the Legion 5. And when playing something like Marvel Rivals, the sound was pretty quiet, especially for a gaming laptop. When I turn the game volume to around 40, the fan noise is not even distracting. It definitely makes me rethink what I should expect from fan noise when it comes to gaming laptops. The Legion 5 is rocking an 80 watt-hour battery, so here's what you can expect. For gaming, worst case, you'll just get over an hour max. That's on Marvel Rivals, on high settings, balanced performance mode, and 165 Hz. That's not compromising on your game experience at all. If you cap the screen to 60 Hz and drop your graphics, you definitely can get longer, maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours. For video editing in DaVinci Resolve, I was getting similar battery performance to the last generation, about 2 to 2.5 hours of editing time on balance mode. You could get a bit more if you run on quiet mode, but performance would suffer and you may need to drop resolution or run proxies. For casual use, I would get around 5.5 hours just doing some YouTube browsing, but I also realized I was running 165 Hz when I did the testing for casual use and editing, so you could get even more battery life if you dropped it down to 60 Hz. The Legion 5 also have a super rapid charge feature, which gets you 100% charge after 80 minutes. Overall, I do think you're getting more battery life with these new Copilot PCs running that new AMD processor, so I'm pretty happy with the results. In Australia, the Legion 5 will set you back about $2,700 for the 5070 version. The 5060 is about $2,500, which is like $700 more than their previous model. And I'm not sure why the 5050 is more expensive right now, but that's launch pricing. Lenovo also have good sales, and I've seen a bunch of people in my comments say that they were able to snag their Legion 5s for huge discounts. So what are we really paying that extra amount for? We're getting more performance, a beautiful OLED panel, a smaller, thinner, lighter laptop, longer battery life, lower fan noise even at max performance, and future-proofing for gaming and editing as more AI features get integrated. I was really happy with the overall boost in performance of the last gen. I was getting significant FPS improvements and even managed to bump up the graphics with some games. Even editing was a dream on this. It will absolutely eat a 1080p timeline. The only downsides is that it still has 8 GB of VRAM, which is not ideal, but that's more of an NVIDIA problem. So isn't an option to go with more powerful GPUs, and the battery life may be underwhelming if you don't choose the right performance mode and game settings. If you're wondering who this laptop is for, this is for someone who wants to game, edit, and stream anywhere with something that's light and powerful, has reasonable noise levels that they can play harder and longer on, and still somewhat maintain a reasonable budget. It's not exactly cheap, but you're getting a ton of value from this thing. I love it when a laptop gets the perfect balance of specs. This laptop is pretty much better in every way from the last generation, and it's pretty hard not to recommend again this time around. This is a sleek, portable, and powerful laptop that gives you exactly what you need for gaming and editing. I definitely definitely think that it's great value if you decide to pick one up.